What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and continue learning about questions that British people have about America. Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, feel free to go check that out, or stay right here, stay right where you are, and enjoy this one. But in Part 1, these two Brits here were really laying down the gauntlet, really asking the hard-hitting questions about a lot of really important topics and giving the British point of view, and then kind of commenting and speculating on different things about the American point of view. And then that's where I come in and I kind of chime in with my 2 cents as the resident American here. But some of these topics are really quite wonderful and really worthwhile discussions that they came up with about cheese, cheese for one thing, guns, gun control, walking. Why don't Americans walk anywhere? It's a good question. Public toilets, and of course, healthcare. Man, I went on more than a few rants there, and it might happen again today, but I'm really enjoying these questions and some of these topics, so I'm excited to continue today. So with that being said, let's take a look.
So the next one is vegetarianism. Why aren't many of you guys vegetarians?
So veganism and vegetarianism is really taking off in England, particularly in London.
I actually didn't know that. Veganism and vegetarianism was popular in London or in Britain. It's somewhat popular in America. Mostly people who either really do have a moral obligation or a moral sort of standpoint against the treatment of animals, and the other kind of people who tend to do that seem to just be trying to care more about their health, and it's kind of from that point of view. But I certainly would agree with this, that most Americans, we love our meat. We love it. I don't know if that's disturbing or not, but Americans, I think it's just part of our culture. We love barbecue. We love good steak, chicken. It's in a lot of our favorite foods, and I don't know, overall health in general is not really a huge talking point, a big concern in America. After you get out of school, they try to teach you a little bit about health in school, but this is definitely accurate. It's not terribly popular, vegetarianism.
And I think one thing that prompted this was Netflix documentaries such as What the Health, Cowspiracy, all of those kind of things. And these documentaries have really sort of opened everybody's eyes over here, certainly, to the dangers of meat. And not just what it's doing to the planet, but what it's doing to your body.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've heard of some of those documentaries. I actually can't say that I've watched any of them. But my knee-jerk reaction is to say that I think it's very American. It's very much American culture to, even if we're aware of the fact that it's bad for us, or the way that it's being conducted is bad, out of sight, out of mind. Americans really stop caring, especially when it comes to their favorite foods and being able to eat what we want to eat. It seems to just be a part of our culture as people that even if there's very good reasons against eating a lot of meat, or good reasons to become a vegetarian or vegan, Americans just don't seem to be swayed very much on that.
The dairy industry, the agricultural industries, what these companies are doing and how they're working with the government to sort of fund their ideas and make us think that we need these products.
Well, our
It's working. It's definitely working here.
government do it as well, telling us that we need meat, we need dairy, and all of this is actually false. And fair enough, if you want to eat meat, you've got nothing against that. We have meat occasionally. But I do think that everyone should be cutting down on the amount of meat that they have. You don't have to give it up, but just everyone should be aware of the impact that it's having.
Well, I don't think that message has gotten very far in America. I think most Americans do think having a healthy amount of meat in your diet is just good for you, strictly good for you. I don't know, this honestly just makes me want to watch these documentaries and become more informed.
everyone ate less meat, we would definitely live in a healthier world, and it would be saving so many people's lives. Yeah. I don't know. Wow. Maybe we're not seeing something. Let us know in the comments.
No. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's just a bit of ignorance, pure and simple. I'm willing to say that.
Next one is, why is your legal age for drinking alcohol 21? Come on!
And is it 21 for buying it as well?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes. Man, I'm curious about what they were going to say on this, but I could already go, and I already have thoughts on this, and it's, most Americans think that this is dumb. Most Americans don't agree with this. 21 years old to drink alcohol, 21 years old to buy alcohol. All it really does is encourage young people to break the law, because young people in America love to drink alcohol, and they are going to. They're not going to be stopped. So the law is kind of pointless in a lot of ways. And why isn't it changed, you might ask? Seems to me like when elections are happening, it's not a very popular sort of position to be the one person who's trying to get elected for some position to be saying, hey, I think we should lower the drinking age. It's like, yeah, all the young kids will probably vote for you, but it's just not something that's very important to be changed compared to the other horrors of the world, like American healthcare and other sorts of things like that are like really pressing issues. The drinking age just never seems to come up. And even though everyone in America kind of knows it's dumb, the drinking age being 21, everyone basically agrees with the fact that it's dumb. It doesn't seem to me like it would be a very good look to be the one guy in the government trying to spend time changing that. Everyone would probably be like, why aren't you worrying about something like important? Like people are homeless and starving on the streets and you're trying to lower the drinking age. So some of it is that. Seems a little kind of counterintuitive, I know, but I feel like that's a big part of it.
So here you can drink alcohol with parental supervision from age
5.
Wow!
Which is hilarious.
It's so funny.
I mean, obviously I didn't get sort of drunk until I was, say, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Wow.
But honestly, all it meant was that I wasn't sort of going to break any rules or try and go out or do anything silly to feel those things.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah, and I also think it's better to teach responsibility around drinking. In America, kids have to get alcohol illegally. And they're committing a crime. They're associating it with something bad. And alcohol just doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be that way. Please. That's what a lot of people say. Your parents can teach you how to be a responsible drinker, that to normalize the alcohol a bit, because when kids finally get a hold of it, in America, they tend to get a little crazy because they've been deprived of it their entire life, and it's this thing that's just forbidden. That makes them want it more in a way, So there's a lot of stuff like that, and I totally agree that it's a bit silly.
In a controlled environment, had a couple of drinks and some food.
So I think it makes it a thing if your parents are like, no, you can't have alcohol.
Yeah.
Because my parents, I'd have like shandy, like beer with some lemonade from like 12, 13 or something. And it just made it not a thing. It was just like, you can have some alcohol if you want, but...
Exactly. It's like, just make it not a big deal. And I think it would be better for everyone.
I think my dad caught me sort of drinking Sambuca when I was like 11. And he was like, you used to like dip your finger in and just get the Sambuca.
So
and I was like, obviously I wanted the booze.
Yeah, Sambuca's great.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
But anyway, give 18-year-olds a bit of fun. Just lower the drinking age.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It was lovely, and it just meant that, like, we can sort of handle our alcohol a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, we can't.
I mean, yeah.
After like 2 drinks, we're like, wasted.
We're a different breed, we're a joke.
No, they're totally right. Most Americans think this is silly. There's not Americans out here who are like, I'm glad the drinking age is 21. I thought that was very smart. There's probably a minority of people who think that, but for the last couple generations of Americans, I think everyone including people who are now our parents and grandparents in America, are like, yeah, I don't know why it's 21. It's kind of dumb.
The majority of Brits.
The other day, you had like 3 drinks and you woke up the next morning and you're like, I'm hungover. I was like, you've had 3 drinks.
Oh gosh, that was bad. I had more. I was mixing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I've been to America, the people that greet you when you walk into a shop.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're a bit over animated and a little bit fake.
Oh, they're like, hey, how are you?
How's your day? How's it going? And sometimes you just don't want to be spoken to. Like, it makes me feel like I should leave their shop. It doesn't make me want to go into their shop and look around. If someone's like, hey, how's your day? I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone. Like, just pretend I'm invisible. Don't look at me.
Okay. Does this just not happen that much in Britain? I don't know. I think most Americans agree with this. Customer service people in American, I don't know, clothing stores and stuff are very annoying. But Americans kind of know, oh, that's their job. That's how they're trained to kind of go up to you and offer their assistance and try to help you. And it does come across as too much oftentimes, but I don't know. This is not something that I realized was strictly American. I guess I just thought it was normal. Annoying salespeople, you know?
I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be spoken to. If I need your help, I'll come and find you and I'll say, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Part of me doesn't know if it's because they want to deter shoplifters, so they're like, I see you. Like, as soon as you walk in,
right.
I know you're in here. Or if it's just like, they think that we want to be spoken to.
To me,
I always assumed it's how they're trained, and in America, a lot of people work on commission, where you might get paid more if you sell more stuff. That kind of thing, or it's just a part of the job. It's what American customer service people are taught. That's what you do. You go up to people and you offer your help, whether they want it or not. So I don't know. I don't think it's anything about shoplifting or anything.
to me, it feels like autopilot. Like, hi, I'm getting paid to say this.
Yeah.
Sorry if that's your job. If you've been told to do that, then, you know, you've got to block that. But maybe try and be a bit more sincere.
Darling, come on in. Come on.
You must love stripes. You love stripes. Got the perfect.
Fine.
I mean, the other part of it is oftentimes these are minimum wage jobs or not career jobs. So they are being... these are jobs held by teenagers or young people who don't really want to be doing this the rest of their life, so it does lack that kind of sincerity or passion, because it's not the job they necessarily want to be doing, but it is a job they need to do and do well. So that might be a part of why it doesn't seem sincere.
I know Americans don't like that about us, because they're used to that other way around. And
like
they think
service.
that we're a bit rude. Yeah, the service is quite rude in the UK. But that's just because we like a bit of space, I think. And the final one is passports. Apparently something like 14% of Americans have passports.
Yeah.
So the rest of the country doesn't own passports.
Yeah, so what are the rest of you... I mean...
what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I already know why this is the case. Americans don't travel outside of America very much, especially compared to a lot of European countries. Europe is like another universe to Americans. The concept that you can leave your country and be in another country super easily and quickly, like it's no big deal, that's the opposite of how Americans feel. America is so huge, a lot of Americans just go on vacation in America. America is gigantic, and traveling outside of America, that's a big deal. That's like, if your friend is going outside of the country, that's like, whoa, wow, like, where are you going? That's amazing. I've always wanted to do that. Okay. So as a consequence, Americans don't really need passports, because there's really not of traveling that Americans are doing leaving the country. It's just not really a part of the culture. It's difficult to get to another country unless it's Mexico or Canada, really. So that it's plain and simple. That's why a lot of Americans just don't bother getting a passport. It's not really something we do.
I think it's because, and I'm going to answer this question anyway.
Okay.
I feel like it's because America's such a big country that lots of people go on vacation. What's it called? Staycations.
What's a staycation?
Where you stay in the country.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, sometimes that's nice, but if I was forced to do all my holidays in the UK, I'd just be like, oh, what a peasant life.
Like, it really blew my mind the first time I thought about this. Like, people in the UK, for one thing, you can travel around the UK and be in a different country easily. You could drive there, right? Like, it would take a couple hours. For Americans to leave America and go to another country, for the vast, vast majority of us, that's going to take a huge trip. It's going to be expensive. It's a huge deal. It's a lot of effort and money. Whereas for a lot of Europeans, it's nothing to go to another country. It's easy. It's your next door neighbor. Everything is so close together. So it's really more of a geographical kind of consequence.
What a peasant life.
Oh no, that's so bad.
No, but the UK is small. The weather is kind of the same anywhere you go. But in America, if you're from Arizona where it's really hot, if you go on holiday to Minnesota, it might be snowy and you feel like you're in a different country and vice versa.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Well, it's not because we are choosing. It's not like, I don't know how to say this. If there was other countries really close to us, we would go there. We would do it. We have nothing against it. But that's simply not the case. So, yeah, we are mostly just from convenience traveling around America. And it is pretty big. There's a lot of places that Americans, it'd be very difficult to even visit everywhere that there is to go in America. So it kind of works out that Americans can vacation around America.
Let us know in the comments. I know we've answered a lot of our own questions here, but we'd love to hear from legit Americans.
Exactly. We only know how much you guys tell us, so do let us know the answers to your questions. We're not trying to be, judgmental or...
No, I don't interpret any of this as judgmental. I actually really enjoy hearing the British point of view on a lot of this stuff. And honestly, I feel like for a lot of these questions, what I've had to say has lined up a lot with what they have kind of interpreted as the answer for why don't Americans lower the drinking age? It's kind of silly. I agree. It's silly. Why isn't American healthcare better? I agree. It's silly. Why don't Americans have more cheese? It's silly. So I actually find myself agreeing a lot.
Arrogant. We're just saying these are literally questions that we think most Brits have of America.
Right.
And if you like our videos, guys, and you want to see more, please click subscribe to our channel. And if you want to...
Very good. Very, very good. On that note, this video was by those two Brits, and I really liked it. I got to give it a like. I think they're fantastic, and I think these topics they came up with were outstanding. Really interesting. And really interesting from my point of view to hear about what British people think about America with all of these topics. That is so fun to learn about in a way. And it teaches me something about British culture, hearing about how Brits kind of look at America in a way, So this has been quite enjoyable for me. And, like they're saying, these are all my anecdotal answers. I feel like they're fairly representative of most Americans, but not all. It's just my experiences. But hopefully this was helpful in answering some of these questions. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to British culture and stuff in Britain that I've never seen before or learned about, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.